Hi everyone. Merry Christmas Eve. Tomorrow's Christmas. I want to get a video out before Christmas. That way I can spend it with my family. I have another video lined up to follow Christmas, and I am very excited to get both these videos out because I think people need to hear this. And if you know anybody who's not waking up and seeing what's going on in the world today, please share my video with them. It's very important to get this word out, and that's why I do this. And number two, please love your family as much as you can tomorrow, because Christmas is more about love and time than it is anything else. And I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. So let's get on to today's talk, and I am going to talk about the wealthy and the powerful. Most big crime scandals are tied into the very wealthy and powerful, which they are. And I want you to go ahead and, as in a couple of my last videos, and my last one, I believe, or was it the one before? Anyways, please, let's put names of the wealthy or powerful people that have gotten away with a crime or been a part of a crime and gotten away with it. When people knew and said nothing, or got caught and walked with no punishment, or a slap on the wrist, or ended in a cover-up so others did not have to go down. Any crime that you feel was unjust, that if it was one of us, we would have got major time for. And they basically walked with nothing, or with very minimal. Most of them walk, which again, this shows you that the rich and the powerful do not have the same punishments as we do. We do not have the same rights. They are above the law, which is not acceptable. We are all supposed to be held accountable in the same way, no matter who it is that breaks the law. Every person in the United States is supposed to be held accountable by the law in the same way and receive the same punishment for the crimes as another person would. It should not be lighter or heavier of a sentence by who you are, who you know, or how much money you make, or how much money you have. Nor if you happen to work for a police department and are charged. And either, again, just like the rich and wealthy, we know that our police get away with the same things and walk with no punishment or very little punishment. Or like the last one, they sneak out of the jail like it was supposed to be, I believe, a couple years, and that was minimal, and then they snuck him out of the jail within a couple weeks. I don't know if anybody heard that story, but... And then again, just like our, what was his name, who just got caught and then ended up dead in jail. I'm having a mind blank, I'm sorry. But everybody covered up for him, and... I thought I just had his name. Anyways, and there's many involved in what he was doing, and still nobody's been going down for it. And Epstein, sorry. A lot of people were tied into him, and nobody's getting punished. Why? Because they all run in the same groups. They're all wealthy and powerful, and they keep their secrets from people like us because we don't run in those circles, and the people who run in those circles, and the law protects them. So they just are at this point above the law, and that is unconstitutional, and it is basically showing us that our government does not do what it's supposed to do. They're not getting paid for what they are getting paid very much. But I worded it wrong. They're not doing what they get paid for. So what is the point? What is the point in having a government that doesn't do its job or only does it to selected people? Because to me, the real criminals are the ones out there that have all the money and power and have no punishment for the crimes that they commit. They get away with it, and then if they do get caught, they go into a country club prison. And they're there for a very minimal amount of time. And while they're there, they get the luxuries as if they were at home. The only difference is they're in like a high-end hotel with people that they really choose not to be with. But what kind of punishment is that? Come on, people. If you haven't woke up by now, you need to wake up and realize that we need each other. And we need to stand together. And something has got to be done. And the only people who are going to do it are us. No politician, because they're all corrupt, that you put into Congress, into the White House, is going to change anything. Why would they? They're the ones that have made this to where they do what they want. They're all happy. They don't care if it changes. Why would they change it? And we're paying them big, big, big money to do this. While we sit here like idiots and do nothing and allow them to continue to violate us because we're just normal people. That's the way you guys are looking at it. You need to stop looking at it like that, because we put the government, not us ourselves, our ancestors, put the government in effect to help keep a good, steady running world. And they have flipped it, abused it, and now are doing whatever they want to do. And who's going to stop them? Who's going to change it? You think their own kind are going to change it or fix it? No. But we are the reason they have the jobs, and we are the reason they can go away as well. And if we don't band together and start taking back our positions, then they're going to keep running rampant and wild, and we're just going to keep taking the punishment until we have no rights and basically are enslaved, because that's where they're taking it at this point. Because they have gone crazy with power and influence and money. And they think they're untouchable. Well, I'm one of many that I know that are willing to stop that and fight to stop it. So, please, everybody, unite and take your stand with us before it's too late. We've got a great opening and a great window to put a stop to all this, which will be in my next video. And it needs to be done before the window closes. Okay, but as for tonight, I'm going to read from another report, and it's on a book that most of you probably would want to buy and read. It tells you a lot of what I'm talking about in my video today. And the book, let me try to find it, is from TAUB, Tab. I don't know if it's Tab or Tab. I think it's Tub. And she has wrote a book. It's called Big Dirty Money, The Shocking Injustice and Unseen Cost of White-Collared Crime. And again, it's not just about the crimes they commit, it's the kind of crimes they commit. I mean, come on, guys, look at Epstein. They were selling young girls and abusing women, and that's not okay. I mean, that's about as low as you can go. And these people got away with it for years, as we've seen with even Bill Cosby and other, actors and wealthy and powerful, where they've taken advantage of women and children and sexual assaults. I don't even know if I can say that on here. I don't want to get my video striked. God, I don't know if I should go back and probably edit that out. I'm not sure. I know they don't like you to say certain words, even though they're not, inappropriate, because you're talking about what your topic is and what goes on in the topic you're talking about. But I know certain words can get you in trouble, so I have to be careful. I didn't even think before I said that. But we'll just say violence against women and children, and it's just got to a point that there's been so many actors that people have come and talked about in the last year, and so many victims, that this has got to come to a stop. It's not okay. And then what was it that coach, that Olympic coach? And again, if you can remember their names, or you yourself know of a story, please talk about it in the comments below. Let me know. I'm going to get on to reading this, because I don't want to talk too much more, because I don't know if I've said words that you're not, that can be questionable on here. So, I'm going to start in the beginning. In 2020, the coronavirus pandemic confirmed a cruel form of American exceptionalism. The country's exceptional performance in handling the virus, as measured in deaths and infections, neither flagged... Sorry, I was looking at my phone. I think my battery's about to die. I thought I charged it. I'm sorry. Neither flag waving nor flyovers can mask other American failures, including climate change, indifference, tolerance for gun violence, inadequate health care, gross income, inequality, systematic racism, and other elements. We've got some serious issues to address. Jennifer, I'm going to say Taub, it's T-A-U-B, points at another elephant in the room, white-collared crime, in her new book, Dirty Money, The Shocking Injustice of Unseen Costs of White-Collared Crimes. Taub bluntly proclaims the United States has a serious corruption problem, and most of us know it. The examples she's recounted will be familiar to regular news consumers and span across sectors, including the entertainment world, Wall Street, politicians and business, cheating the public and getting away with it. In The New Normal, she writes, "No, not another wealthy and powerful... Not all wealthy and powerful people are corrupt. Rather, as Taub explains, the extreme wealthy In case I don't get to edit this, I really apologize for the interruptions, and I got my lighting fixed, so hopefully my eyes will work right now. I'm going to go ahead and start where we left off and just jump right back in here. Okay? The extreme wealthy and well-connected have incentives and opportunities for crime and corruption. Extreme wealth is criminologic, and upper classes provide one another with a kind of mutual assured immunity. Prosecutors also have insignificant incentives to pursue complex and time-consuming cases against respectable, high-status individuals and business entities. And the tools they have to detect and punish offenders have been dulled by the courts. The urgency to prioritize white-collar crimes is low when it is hard for the public to see the victims. So again, if you have the money and the power and the high-paid attorneys to fight for you, it's not worth their time, which is ridiculous. Because no matter how rich somebody is or how well their attorneys are, if you're guilty, you're guilty. So why do they get to walk while one of us would get hammered to the wall? Especially even a high-collar crime, we would get hammered to the wall. There is no way we would walk. But, people who can't afford attorneys or afford to make it a battle in court, we get hammered to the wall. But just because they can put up a fight, then they basically can walk. Again, I don't see how any of you can see that there's not a problem here. And how everyone knows that if you're wealthy or you have connections, which is considered powerful, then you can get away with whatever you want to get away with. They don't even try not to live good lives and not commit crimes, even though they're very wealthy. Because the rich can always want more. They're never satisfied. I'd be satisfied with half of their lives or all of their lives, but they're not. And even if you steal, which we know most recent story out there, from burn victims or people who have died, if you steal the money on a case that you've, been entrusted with, so what? That's how they feel because they're untouchable. Well, let's see what happens with that case, if you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's go on. Immunity breeds... I'm sorry. Okay. The wealthy and the powerful rarely go to jail. And when they do, it's for relatively brief stays at Club Fed. The post-2008 economic crisis shoulder shrug of too big to fail subsequently morphed into too big to jail. It's not just the settlements, civil settlements are easy to obtain than prison sentences. From resource allocations to recognitions for individual federal attorneys, large media, friendly monetary recovery offer greater returns on investments for Justice Department. Even if large corporations and wealthy elites are largely unaffected by the eye-popping sum, Wells Fargo's CEO John Stumpf resigned in shame, comforted by a $134 million exit payment. The impressive $1.9 billion sum recovered from London-based HSBC for laundering drug cartel money was equal to around 1 month profits. More broadly, Tab painstakingly presented data to demonstrate that the self-serving and irresponsible actions of trusted businesses and government leaders inflict far more damage and harm than street crime or property crimes, such as burglary, larceny, and theft, while the financial crisis of 2008 cost millions of Americans their homes and jobs. I knew I was going to have a problem saying this word, even though I know it. Behemoth banks received trillions in government bailouts and backstops, and bankers themselves went on to earn billions of dollars in personal bonuses. The rich and the powerful became richer and more powerful, while the public loses trust in our institutions, and acclamations of wealth and power is divorced from the means and the costs of that wealth. So once again, they're untouchable. They walk away with no punishment, or almost no punishment. They walk away with a settlement that will carry them through life. And I'm sure they go on to be rehired at another establishment, just like police officers. You fire them and they go to another area and they get rehired, even though they were fired for murder, abuse, violating people's rights. It doesn't matter, because they have connections by the Thin Blue Line gang, or they have connections within their government to where they can just move somewhere else or to another area, or, the next county over, and get another job. And they're sitting on 134 million exit payment. I could live the rest of my life with that very comfortably. Because money doesn't mean nothing to me. I don't need 5 cars and 10 houses and, a house on the beach. I don't need all that. I just want to be able to live as a normal person with normal things and have time with my family. And people that are like me, who just want to be able to survive and live a peaceful, healthy, life with their loving family, can't afford to. We have to go out there and bust our butts, 9, 10, 12 hours out of our day, barely get any time with our kids, to barely scrape by on our bills because they don't pay us enough to pay our bills. Yet the people we entrust to take care of us are robbing us blind, stealing our homes, our cars, our belongings, and they're sitting in one mansion and own 5 more, with 10 souped up cars, for violating us and for robbing us and for not doing their jobs. Why is anybody in America or around the world okay with that? Especially us Americans, because at least in other countries, they're getting health care. They're getting taken care of. They may have other problems in their, countries, but they're able to live pretty decently in some countries. And we're the richest, and we can't even take care of our own people. And these are in poor countries, or ones struggling. How do you think this is okay? Why is it that people are so afraid to stand up against what's wrong in this country? And again, if you think anybody's coming to bail you out, all politicians are crooked. So no politician is going to step in Congress or the White House and fix this. Look at our stimulus check. What happened there? First, the Republicans were asking for more, supposedly, because Donald Trump wanted to give us a good one. Now he's out and the others are in. Now our check got cut in half. And even though Trump wants more, which he doesn't need more, we don't get more. And we're getting half of what we got before. For them making us lose our jobs and our income and to be able to take care of our family. And you know why? Because nobody's going to complain. They're going to take the money and they're just going to move on with their lives. No. Because they're still getting their same big fat paychecks while they make us struggle. Why do they get to decide that we're going to get crumbs while they're sitting in their mansions and their high-paid offices and driving their souped-up cars while we keep losing? What is wrong with you Americans? And stop letting them throw the focus off of them and trying to stir up problems with the people of the United States. And stop trying to start problems, again, yourselves with people just like you in our country so that we fight with each other and take our eyes off of them. The problem isn't with us, and I don't care to hear another Democrat or Republican or left-hander or right-hander for the rest of my life. We are all people, no matter what we believe in, and there shouldn't even be a Republican and a Democrat. It should be we're all freaking people, and we all deserve what we deserve. Unite and fix the problem. And we don't have to even think about Republicans, Democrats, this, that, blah, blah, blah. It makes me sick. We're all people who want the same thing. Keep letting them stir the pot so you can be distracted. Stop playing their games. The only people we need to be fighting with is our government. Oh, I hope I didn't lose my voice. I'm so sorry, but it just makes me so mad. I don't know how it's not making anybody else mad or your skin crawl. I think I finished this one. Yeah, I don't think I turned the page. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's see. Because the sentence goes into the next paragraph, so let me go ahead and start again because I got to flip the page. The accumulations of wealth and power is divorced from the means and the costs of the wealth generation, such as public ills ranging from degraded air and water quality, food poisoning, inflated consumer prices, reduced pensions, funds, opioid addiction, poverty, social stratifications, and even suicide. In her lengthy preface, a fine piece of long form journalism, Tab, whatever, I think it's Tab, paints, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, because again, I think you should buy her book. And she makes a lot of good points. I'm just having a problem pronouncing her name, but I'm pretty sure it's Tab or Tub. I don't know. I hope you're laughing right now. I don't know which way to say it to make it appropriate, but Tab paints the current situation in stark relief. Okay. Get the latest on needs to know topics for federal employees delivered. Oh, that's not one of her things. That's one advertisement. Okay. Back to her. The big money crowd can use plundered wealth to help ensure that those elected to positions of power will protect them and further their interests. In other words, like I said, who you know, who gets put in there, who they pick is because of either friend, family, relative. That is the only way you'll get placed. And people like you or me or anybody else that even if we are the best at what we do, we will not get picked into a position when they can give it to somebody they know. Somebody that they know will help them continue the corruption. Okay? They handpick them to continue the corruption to go on, I should say. Okay, protected them and further their interests. At the top of the list is cutting taxes, promoting industries they invest in or control, and keep them and their dear friends and offsprings out of trouble, out of prison, and and in the money. This furthers the wealth divide in America and undermines notions of fairness and meritocracy, paying the Americans, paving the way for kleptocracy governed by the thieves. Sorry, I guess the way I screenshot that, I cut it off. Yeah. Americans and undermines notions of fairness and meritocracy, paving the way for kleptocracy governed by thieves. And again, what she's saying is they put who they want where they want, and it's from their little groups because they want to keep the corruption and the unfairness and the criminal acts to continue. So as long as you're rich and wealthy and you have friends, family, or offsprings to continue the corruption and keep their great lives going and keep us struggling, they're going to do it. So why would any of them step in and fix it when they're making a wonderful life for themselves and untouchable? Come on, people. Have some common sense, please. Wake up, open your eyes, and I'm talking to the ones who don't want to see this or choose not to see this or want to live in their fairy tale land in their bubble. You're not going to get a better life by ignoring this. It's not going to go away. And you're setting your family up for a horrible future. If you really love your family, you'll want to try to fix this along with the other Americans who want our rights back and want to be able to live the way we should live, not being under oppression from this corrupt government and the cults and the criminals of the wealthy and the powerful, as they say. They're gonna keep their positions and anybody involved with them. Just like now, like I said, our new President Biden. Oh, well, since the Republican, I had a mind blank. I'm so sorry. Group won't basically, let him pass anything through. Senate isn't going to pass anything that he wants to put through. He'll just throw his hands up in the air and ride his term out for the money. He ain't even going to try because they won't help him. You won't even fight or take it to the courts or come to the people or anything, because why would he disrupt? Even though he's not going to make anybody happy, he's going to look like a fool, and he's going to do his 4 years and get kicked out again, another one-term president. And he don't care because he's still riding that money train all the way there. So screw us. All that talk he said about fighting for us. And again, I don't care which one of them won because I knew it was all hot air coming out of their mouths. Neither one of us or neither one of them were going to do anything for us. Why would any of them want to fix it when it's filling their pockets full of money and their families are happy and wealthy and drive brand new cars and live in mansions while we struggle and lose our homes and lose our belongings? And then in this time of crisis, they're not stopping anybody from coming after us. If you can't afford to get a lawnmower because your lawnmower broke, because you're out of work or can't pay your rent, or you get thrown out of your house, you get code called on you, any way they can try to get money out of you, they're still going to, knowing that this is going on, that people don't have money right now, that the coronavirus has shut us down and took all our paychecks. The government don't care. They keep talking about the government stopping student loan payments and this and that. Bull. They're still calling. My daughter's going through that right now. But our government's supposed to protect us from all these people coming after us, knowing that we have no money or income for jobs. They're not stopping nothing. And if you call anybody and say, this isn't supposed to be going on, what do I do? You think they're going to actually help you or give you an answer to it? Are you kidding me? I'll go into it on another video about a fight I've been having with Code for now years for something I haven't done wrong. But they still want to try to get some money out of me one way or another. And I've been threatened by Code that they will come after me. You know why? Because my house is paid off. I know they want to try to steal my house from me. I know they'll come after people who have houses paid off. And they don't go after nobody else in my neighborhood. So it just seems like they want to just pick on somebody and get some money out of somebody. And I'm a perfect candidate because I own my house and it's paid for, where most of the people around me still are making payments. But again, I'll leave that for another video. Okay. Public corruption, eroding public trust. This is nothing new here, is it? A lot of people are fighting this one. Got a lot of activists out there fighting against this one too. Amidst the tsunami of reprehensible behaviors, Tubbs' description of Republican Senator Rich Burr and Kelly Loeffler's exploitation of public office for private gain is uniquely maddened and on January 24, 2020. My eyes are starting to go blurry. I apologize. Anthony Fauci privately briefed senators before the World Health Organization, declaring a global health emergency. And weeks before the name COVID-19 was bestowed upon the nascent pandemic on February 7th, Burr of North Carolina, that's a little better, published a reassuring opt about public preparedness. A week later, he dumped a jaw-dropping amount of stock, and I was waiting for this one, stock in, among other things, the hotels and extended stay market. Meanwhile, Loeffler of Georgia and her spouse, the chairman of New York Stock Exchange, unloaded millions of dollars in the stocks between the briefing and the mid-February while buying stock in companies that sell communication software and personal protective equipment. Of course, they knew what was coming. They put their money where they knew it was going to grow big, which is kind of like an insider trading thing, isn't it? Because they knew prior what was going on, and when none of us knew. But also, at the time that all this happened, my daughter and I were looking to put money in stocks, and we didn't even know the pandemic was coming, unlike these people, and we weren't allowed to buy stocks. They had frozen people like you and me from putting money into the stock system. But yet, here's a story that they knew what was coming. And they dropped a ton of money to make sure they made a ton of money. Come on, people. The corruption is out of hand. And why isn't anybody in an uproar about this? You're so in an uproar about who's taking that seat in the White House. That really doesn't matter, because neither one of them were going to make any major changes for regular people like you and me. The ones who were really mad were the ones who had money and knew that one of them would help them make more money and have their backs. And they knew the one that's coming into office wasn't going to do that. He had his own greedy agenda to sit there and continue to feed his family and just ride this presidency out without doing anything because the Congress is against him. Boo-hoo. So I'm not even going to try to help you poor little Americans because I can't. They're stopping me. Good excuse. So what are we paying the president? I wonder what kind of money we're paying him to sit in the White House for the next 4 years and do nothing. I'm sorry. Nothing. But you know what I was going to say. Great. What a great situation this is. So in these next 4 years, I suggest we all unite, stand together, and make some changes. Okay. Tab, a law professor, carefully detailed why it is so difficult to punish wealthy, powerful officials so poignantly. I hope I sounded right when I said that. Poignantly contrasts this privilege with the treatment of Eric Gardner, whom police killed with a chokehold while arresting him for the nominal tax avoidance associated with selling loose cigarettes to pedestrians. So the guy was trying to make a couple extra bucks, and he was selling his loose cigarettes, which is one cigarette at a time, to other people to make a little extra money. And they charged him with tax avoidance. Are you kidding me? Can you even be really taxed on selling loose cigarettes to somebody else? I mean, I've had people say at work when I used to smoke, which thank God I don't anymore, but hey, I'll give you $1 for a cigarette if you have one, because they really hate asking somebody just for a cigarette, which is fine. How are you going to charge somebody with tax, basically, evasion? Are you kidding me? Or avoidance, whatever they want to say. And for that, he was choked out and killed by a police officer who probably got a slap on the wrist and is still working to this day. You don't know how many videos I'm going to post and I want to post, and I just have been so caught up in trying to get this out that I haven't had time to make my videos of officers who are torturing or killing innocent people. I mean, I understand there's people out there who have committed crimes, and some, I don't even want to go into that, but we'll go into it on another video, but they're not real criminals. And some weren't criminals at all. No record, just killed by police officers. And I don't even want to hear anybody defend them in situations like this one, where this guy was choked out and lost his life for selling out of his pack of cigarettes, a couple cigarettes to other people, because they did what they always do. They want to find some kind of made-up charge against something you did to destroy your life even more if you have a record, or to get you charged with something to destroy your life. Come on, this is not what police are paid to do. This is not what we made the position of police for. But yet here we've got the rich and famous who avoid taxes every day, and real big money taxes. You wanted to choke out and kill an innocent man for 6 cents to the dollar. Maybe he sold 3 cigarettes. Great, 18 cents. That's what his life went for. And that cop should be in jail for murder for the rest of his life. Yet I've got down the road here a very wealthy guy who owed billions, I believe it was in the billions, in taxes. Got a high-priced attorney. He's very, very, very wealthy. And the attorney got him, with a slap on the wrist, a $10,000 payout. So, instead of the time in jail for tax evasion, or as they say, avoidance, for billions or millions or billions of dollars, whichever one it was, he got no time in jail, and $10,000 wiped it all away. So you know where that money comes from now that they just let him off on? Me and you. We get taxed more now. So we get taxed more because the million and billionaires can't pay their taxes with all the money that they have, and the 10 homes and the 10 cars and so on and so on. Come on, people. Like, how are you not upset or wanting to make a change? I don't get it. Follow the money. Having co-founded the April 15, 2017 tax march, part of the movement to reform the tax code, Tubb offers a compelling perspective on tax policy and enforcements. Wealthy-friendly loopholes must be closed, coupled with the efforts to reduce rampant tax evasions, she writes. The IRS should audit the rich because that's where the money is. The Justice Department should investigate and prosecute wealthy tax evaders because that's where the crime is. Unbelievably, audits of the top earners include those who bring in more than $5 million per year. The most cost-effective to audit have fallen by around 80%. Pressure is off the wealthy. So again, you'll come after the poor. We pay to clean up your messes. But they're not going to go after the people who really have money to pay. They rather put us poor people in jail. And I'm going to say poor because there's no middle class anymore. You're either rich and wealthy or you're poor. No middle class. So anybody who's not making the big money like these people, they don't have to pay their taxes. How is that right? They make more money than probably 1,000 of us. I'll put even more than 1,000 of us. It's like 10,000 of us. One of them makes more than 10,000 of the upper to middle class together. And they would put us in jail because we can't afford it, and we can't afford anything. But yet they can because they're making $5 million a year. You know what I would do for just one chance to make $5 million in 1 year? $5 million a year, and they don't have to pay their taxes. Come on, people. And through this, I'm going to get madder and madder and madder. And I don't understand why people aren't mad or looking at the right way to make a change, because it is not going to happen inside this corrupt government. This lady is telling the whole truth of what I've seen my whole freaking life. Wrote a book about it. So if you don't want to hear it from me, go get the book. Understand what's going on with your government and understand how it's never going to change and nobody's going to fix it because everybody up there is where they want to be. And they'll just keep passing it down within their own families and their own friends and their own acquaintances so that they can keep the corruption going as we get taken over and lose everything. Wake up. And then stand up and make a change. Join so we can figure it out. Join this channel. Spread this channel around. Share it to everybody you know. Let's make a change. It's got to come. Or you might as well tell your family, your children, your grandchildren, you have let their future go completely. They can't even go to school anymore. Because by the time somebody like one of our kids go to school, they come out in more debt than they could pay off in a lifetime. So what's the point? You know who gets to go to school? The wealthy. Because they can afford it. Yet there's nowhere our kids are going to go that they're not going to come out, like I said, in more debt than they can pay in their lifetime. No way. There's no point in it. Like I said in my other video, my daughter got a degree, made her companies millions for $15 an hour. I make more than her, and I didn't need to have a degree. Isn't that funny? Now she owes thousands in school loans and doesn't even make what some people make without a degree. What is the point? Now she wants to go back for another degree, but she's afraid she'll be so far in debt she'll never get out of debt and not be able to live a normal life because her debt will be too high. How fair is that? Okay, sadly, Tubbs' book went to the press. I'm going to leave that part out. Tab also advocates for more progressive taxation, highlighting the 2017 tax cuts. The CBO estimates that what Tubbs dubs, and that's what it says, Tubbs dubs, well, I guess I got to add the other part. I really wanted to keep the Republican Democrat stuff out because I don't want people trying to twist my video around. So I'll start at the top since it's in the second paragraph. Sadly, Tubbs' book went to press before the extraordinary New York Times covered the Donald Trump sustained systematic records of tax avoidance. Tubbs also advocates for more progressive taxation, highlighting the 2017 tax cuts. The CBO estimates that what Tubbs dubs the Trump tax scam will increase the deficit by $1.9 trillion, promise tax breaks and prosperity for all, instead deliver trillions of dollars in cuts for billionaires and big businesses. Don't hold your breath waiting for the myth trickling down effect, Tubb writes. Okay, that should say it all. I'm going to leave that alone because I know that just asking for problems. So, words matter. Sadly, we've hamstrung ourselves with obtuse definitions of corruption, white-collared crimes, fraud, and victimless crimes. This in turns obfuscates. I know this word and I'm so sorry. Sometimes pronunciation is so bad for me. Obfuscates their collective impact. The unfortunate shift to an offense-based definition of white-collared crime has real-world implications. By ignoring an offender, social or corporate status, we are catching a lot of small fish while letting giant individuals and corporation predators swim free. This approach can pump up the enforcement statistics without actually making a significant dent on prevailing punishment and redressing the most damaging criminal activity by the most capable and redirective offenders. So, again, they're saying instead of, going after the big fish and getting the big money, they will let them go free as they continue to come after the small ones and punish us in any way they can. And she wants a difference. And I mean, she put this book out for a reason. And again, it's to open people's eyes, just like I'm trying to, other channels are trying to, activists are trying to. We are trying to get across to all of you that there is not going to be a change unless we ourselves and together make it. Again, the great words that were said once a long time ago. United we stand, divided we fall. And that is going to be my slogan that I'm going to keep preaching until we start doing it. It's very important that, I don't care, Republican, Democrat, Jew, Christian, Catholic, I don't care. We are all Americans and bleed red, and that's what we need to see. And let's make the change. We have family members and friends going out there and dying, fighting for our rights that don't even exist, that we don't even have. I will never, ever let one of my family members go fight for this country ever again when they are fighting for nothing. Nothing. What are we getting for our families dying, losing limbs, destroying life, mental health destroyed? What are we getting? Please tell me. And do you think any of them care? It's all one big game and one big puppet show while they sit in their beautiful mansions, like I said, and drive their pretty little cars, which I could give two cares about. I just want my pickup and my house and my kids and to be left the freak alone. And they won't even do that. And again, I'll get into that story on another video. I'm so upset. I don't remember if I turned the page, so give me a minute. Meanwhile, our country has been... Okay, no, I did turn the page. Yeah, I finished up. Okay. Meanwhile, our country has become a money laundering mecca. Our legal system, corporation, law firms, and accountants are eager to turn blood money into gold, real estate, shiny cars, and yachts, which I just said. Late in 2019, GAO began to focus on one aspect of this. Of Q ownership structures that may conceal who owns, controls, or benefits from the company. A call to action. Tubbs subscribes empowering prosecutors more focus on victims, better protections on support for whistleblowers and investigative journalists, and investing in better data collection and transparency so we can better understand the true costs of white-collar crime that a tall order the wealthy invest heavily to redirect the Justice Department's focus away from elite crime, all of which makes the nervous effects of the U.S. Supreme Court decision in Citizens United and its progeny, which opens the floodgates of big money into political campaigns, all the more disturbing. The timing of Tubbs' book is no mistake. She wants you to think about the distorting power of big dirty money as you contemplate your votes. Which again, thank you, Tubbs, but the voting wouldn't have mattered either way. But thank you for the insight on all the corruption. We really appreciate it. I hope it's a big seller. It needs to be a number one seller. Everybody should have it in their book. I mean, everybody should have the book in their home. And I'm sorry, I had another thought going and tripped up myself. And as you said, sit at home and think about what is really going on in this world. Get the book, read it, and really sit and think about how we need to make changes. I think every home in America should have this book in it as you sit and think about what is in that book and how, again, to make the changes. Okay, if we continue to serve as a popular haven for global kleptocrats, maintaining weekly bribery prohibitions, allowing big dirty money to flood our elections, secure implicate immunity for the upper class, allow corporate executives to commit crimes and walk away with no or very, very light sentences, we will continue to be the petri dish for another future corrupt organization, crime ties, friends, and all dictators, lying, cheating, megalomaniacs, American presidents. A generalization ago, following the Watergate scandal, Congress passed a new law aimed at addressing government corruption and influence the money in politics. If 2021 offers a similar opportunity, Tubbs' work may... I can't see the last line here. Let me see. I guess it got cut off. May help begin to restore public trust. And I just figured out them words by the very, very, very tops of them. It was completely cut off when I shared it to my other phone so I could read it. I guess it chopped it off. But I don't see that happening. I don't think public trust is going to be gained back. I don't see there ever being a difference made. And I would like your opinions in my comments on what you think about all of this. Because obviously, like I said, nobody in the wealthy, as they call powerful politicians, none of them are going to make a change. None of them are even going to try to make a change because that would be messing up their own little corruption system for themselves. and their money and their power. So, again, I agree with Tubbs 1,000,000%. She has proven every point I've been trying to discuss and put out there way before my YouTube channel, because I didn't have an opportunity to. But now that I have this channel, I will continue to put it out on here. But I've been talking about it with friends and families for many and many, 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 many years. And I honestly believe that she has put out everything that I've talked about for these years. But the only thing I don't agree with her is that it's going to make any difference bringing this to the government officials in any capacity, in any level, because they are not going to change it. Why? Because they are part of what she is talking about. They are the corrupt. They are the ones who are going to keep this going. So why should they fix it? Because that would only be hurting their own pockets, their own banks, their own income. I would love all you to either really take what I've said serious tonight, or if you have to go buy her book to get it through your head on what's really going on in our corrupt government. And my next video is going to tell you more about what we need to do to fix this. But we, as the people, we are their bosses. And we need to make a change. And we need to start firing people. And we need to either fix this government ourselves or figure out another way, a better way, with people who aren't so corrupt. But as long as those corrupt people are in there and have that kind of power, and the cults and the secret societies and this and that, we don't stand a chance. Because we don't have the money, the power, or the connections. So the only thing we can do is fire our government and replace it with something better, or figure out a new system, because this system is broken, and it's been broken for a long time, and it's been so corrupt that it's used every way it can to manipulate your mind and your way of thinking into thinking that we are powerless and that we must obey them and we must do what they say, or they will come after us and get us and destroy us. But there ain't enough of them to come after all of us. Okay? And at some point in time, we have to stop taking the beating and fight back. And I'm, again, not saying in any way physically or violence or anything like that. But we have words and we have minds and we are the people. And they work for us. And what do you do with a bad employee, or one that's corrupt, or one that steals or embezzles? You get rid of them. It's time for us to make a change and make a stand. Before they cut off our connections, which again would be violating our constitutional rights, but that doesn't mean they won't, because they did it before. And they take all the rights that we have left and basically enslave us. Our families, our friends. What are they gonna, like they said, drag us out of our homes and put us in little camps if we don't put something in our hands? What do you plan on doing when they want to force us? I'm trying to get comfortable because I can't put my phone up with the charger in it. When they want to force us to do the things that they want us to do and we don't want to do them, by putting things into our bodies. What are you going to do? Are you going to bow down and say, yeah, put that stuff in me that could kill me, that could make me sick, that could be used to alter my brain or my thoughts? What are you going to do? I'll be damned. Ain't nobody putting nothing in my body that I don't want in my body. They want to give people the right to do anything else with their bodies, but now all of a sudden they want to take your rights and make you do stuff with your body that the government thinks you should do with your body. No, it's not happening. I am never going to put nothing into my body, and I will fight tooth and nail for that. That right will never be taken from me. I have never let a person, a man, nobody take anything as far as my rights away with my body. And I damn sure ain't going to let the government. So I think this video is a pretty good long one, and I don't really like to go too long because I don't want people to get bored. So I have got my point across in this aspect. I hope. Please subscribe, join, pass this on, see the light. Let's get talking. Let's figure out the best way to handle this corrupt situation in government. And let's start making people know what's going on and spreading the word and getting a group together so we have connections everywhere that can help us with our fight against any situation. I need this channel to grow so that we have connections all over the world. So please share with all your friends and family. Let's talk about it. I will keep pumping out information as it comes. Again, tomorrow's a holiday. I'll probably take that off unless my daughter falls asleep. The next day, I do have a video waiting for you on what needs to be done in this situation now. Y'all have a great night. God bless. Happy holidays. And I care about everybody, and I want everybody's family to have a chance at a happy future. Our children deserve every opportunity that should come to them that the government is not going to allow our children to have access to. So please join the fight to keep our rights and get this world going in the right direction. And I wish you all a very good night. Happy holiday. Merry Christmas. I'll see y'all soon. God bless. Happy